Hey, Yatin,
Hi, sir. How are you?
how are you?
All well.
Great. Yeah. So let's talk about today talk about Seller Central, which is
Okay.
uh, seller panel, and which is used to manage all things, right? That's basically the backend means panel for the sellers. Yeah.
Backend panel.
Yeah. That's basically backend. What you can say, where you will be basically creating your listing. You'll manage your things, you'll see your orders, you'll create your advertisement,
Okay.
all those
In
things.
Amazon or on
in Ama-
Amazon site.
yeah, on Amazon site. Yeah.
Okay. I have seen that product. I was just checking out about other sellers and all. It look good at present.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's finish
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
One second. Okay. Okay. You're seeing my screen, right?
Yes, but it's not big.
It's not big. Uh, how do I do that? I think at your end you have to do something, I believe.
Okay.
Is it good or
Yeah, it's good.
okay? Yeah. So basically, like for to access your seller panel,
Mm.
that this should be the URL, which is called as sellercentral.amazon.com. It
Mm-hmm.
could be com.in for India, .co.uk for
Mm-hmm.
uh, in, UK for England, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for German, it will be D. So it depends like which marketplace. But in
Okay.
our case, it would be .com, right? As we will be selling on uh, Amazon.com. So the URL would be sellercentral.amazon.com. Hmm.
Okay.
And when I type in this, it will ask me to log in if I have not, if I have already registered as a seller,
Mm-hmm.
then I can log in. But here, as I have already logged in, so I will not be, it comes here if I have already logged in. So this, once I log in, the panel will look like something like this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is like one of my clients panel, clients account.
Okay.
Uh, so you see all these tabs over here. It's like catalog, inventory, pricing, orders, advertising, reports,
Mm-hmm.
performance, service, and B2B. So all these things are there. These all tabs. At the same time, you have here like messages, help, settings,
Mm-hmm.
and you see this all widgets are there. On on left hand side there are some widgets,
Mm-hmm.
and on right hand side there are some widgets, and as well as on the middles. On middle area also there are widgets. So this middle area is basically where Amazon shows news, some latest, any kind of like information which has happened on Amazon itself. Those kind of
Okay.
news will be published. So you can like any point you can come over. When you log into your Seller Central, you may see some news coming up, and which
Okay.
if you would like to understand what is that, then you can go through. So like this, in case there is something like register now for upcoming seller university training in February, something like that, February 2019, some training, something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and you will see your orders here on the left hand side. You can see
Mm,
pending orders and all those things. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I'm just briefing you about this panel overview now, dashboard, how it will look like, how usually it will look like. This can be dragged and placed over, and I mean, I can change the place as
Okay.
like what I did right now. I took this performance box to top side, which
Okay.
is possible. I can move around. In fact,
Okay.
I now I can still, if I have to, okay, uh, okay, probably I can take this up. Oh, it has gone down. Uh, yeah, so I can move around like this on the left hand side, and even I can move this around as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but in the middle section, this cannot be moved around. This is basically reserved for Amazon. So Amazon, I mean, has the, I mean, whatever they want to display over here, that will be displayed. Like news is the one, recommended task is the other one. Amazon Business, they will be showing up here as per their I mean, requirement, as per their whatever they want to show it here up here, right? That area is for them.
Mm-hmm.
And coming over to catalog and all these things, I'll just explain what is all these things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you can, I mean, as these all things are pretty much like self-explanatory thing. So it will be, I mean, if you see this, you will clearly understand what is this exactly, right? When it,
Okay.
I mean, if I have to explain you orders, you can see what are the pending
Yeah.
orders are there. What is guaranteed delivery on shipped,
Mm-hmm.
unshipped number of unshipped orders, right? And
Mm-hmm.
return request if there is any return request. All these things you can see. I mean, there are two sections here: seller fulfilled and fulfilled by Amazon. So you can
Okay.
see in last 7 days, 7 orders, and sorry, last 1 day, 7 orders, and last 7 days, 37 orders. So like that. So you can see all this here, and you can see the performance as well. How is your account basically, right? I mean, if there are any buyer messages, so you
Mm-hmm.
have to keep an eye for the buyer message as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if buyer message, because if you are not responding to the buyers, then Amazon actually has a SLA to respond the buyers within 24 hours of time. So if you are
Okay.
missing that SLA, the timeline what Amazon has given to you to respond back to your customers,
Mm.
then Amazon, I mean, it will be basically get you the negative impact on your account,
Okay.
which will be from your account's health perspective, which will impact. And if you are missing out frequently, then there are chances that you may get notification from them, and there are
Mm.
chances that they may cancel your, I mean, suspend
Okay.
your account as well. Mm.
Okay.
So that is one criteria which you need to see as well, buyer's message. So along with the buyer's message, there are a lot of other things which you'll have to keep an eye and see if we are, I mean, deviating anything from their guidelines or policies as such. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to be careful when we are I mean, listing a product. There are a lot of things which you'll come to know, but yes, we will have to follow their guidelines, because we are selling the products to Amazon customers.
Okay.
So it's all like their thing, their policies and their guidelines, everything we have to follow,
Mm.
right? And yeah, so yeah, I mean, this is not important. And you can see the sales summary and your payment summary. You can see here the payment, how much you got, and what is your balance, and all those things you can see here, and how many orders you have got today, 7 days, 15 days, and all those things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'll go over this thing like each of them. Probably everything would not be required each section, but I would definitely cover the most important and whatever is required, right?
Mhm.
So when I point over here, catalog, you see add products and complete your drafts. So this is basically a duplicate things which is not really required to be here. I don't know why that Amazon has kept that like that, but you have the same option here available. Add product, which is nothing but here add a product. The same thing. Okay, it's a duplicate thing.
Mhm.
Under inventory, it is there, and there is a second option which is there available as well. So I'm just not covering this catalog because this is basically the same thing what we'll be covering here. It will be there, right? So
Mhm.
under inventory, we have like manage inventory, manage FBA inventory, inventory planning, add a product, add products via upload, inventory reports, promotions, let's sell globally, and manage FBA shipment. So I'll cover today probably one or two things from here.
Okay.
Then we'll have subsequent sessions to cover up remaining things. Okay.
Mhm.
So today, I'll just cover the how you can manage your inventory and what is that exactly. When I click on that manage inventory, that basically shows what all the products are already there on my inventory and I can manage those. That's basically the meaning of it, and that is what the purpose of that manage inventory. Okay,
Mhm.
you see, all these inventories are there for this particular seller, and this particular has this inventories. Okay, so you see the variations and all these have been created. I'll explain you those things later, how you can create variations and all those things. But now just I'm explaining what is that manage inventory thing. Okay. So manage inventory, if I come over to this manage inventory page, I'll see something like this. I'll see the
Mhm.
product like status and the image, if there is any image which has to be shown.
Mhm.
In case of variations, the image will not be shown. It will be inside of the variation. I can expand this, and you see this. What all the child listing are there under this variations. I can
Mhm.
see those. Okay, so I can expand each of them, and I can see those. And yeah, when I click expand this, you see that the status is active. It is image. Image also you can see, and the SKU product name, which is nothing but the title of the product,
Mhm.
and date created when the listing was actually created, right? On that specific, that specific date would be mentioned here over here.
Mhm.
So from this you can know like when exactly you created the listing, right? And how
Mhm.
many units are available, and what is the fee preview. So basically you can see how much you are paying for all of like uh, all of the Amazon fees. Okay, so
Mhm.
you can see that fee preview. Your item price is this much, and delivery charge
Mhm.
is this much. So customer pays this much, something like that. It says, and referral fees, fixed closing fees, fixed discount, sorry, fee discounts and GST and all this. So I'll explain you what is. I think you know these all things, right? Referral fees and all those things. So that
Mhm.
is what it is. Basically, it displays all the charges and on a breakups. So it shows
Mhm.
up all the breakups, like how much you'll be paying for each of the things, right?
Mhm.
You can see the business price. There is a option called B2B. We can sell the product to business customers as well. So for that, there is this option of like putting your business price and quantity. So you can add a certain quantity to get bigger discount, and you will be selling your product in bulk number. That is also possible on Amazon. Yeah,
Okay.
and you have your sales rank and edit. You can edit the listing or the content of your inventory, whatever you have already have as your existing inventory. I can go and edit this. If I click on this, panel opens up, another window will open up and shows me window like something this. So I'll go through this all details. Let's cover up that first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you see there are like default columns which are not default actually. This is the columns which has been selected, and there could be default also. I mean, if you click on this, uh, okay, let me go back. I think I just clicked on. Yeah, you see this column, it says 10 columns hidden.
Okay.
So that means there are 10 more columns which I can add on here also to display something else,
Yeah.
something more in fact. So when I click on this, it will open up another window where you can select if you want to add something, some other column here. So let's say if I want to add like what? Mm, yeah, let's say UPC and EN. Okay, if
Mm.
I just say that UPC and EN I want to display as an column, then I'll get this column. You see this?
Okay.
Okay, so this column will be visible. So that way, like you can add as per your requirement columns and remove as per your requirements. Like if you want to
Mm.
remove some column, you do not want to show that column and unnecessary, uh, occupy the space from your window,
Mm.
from that real estate space. So you can definitely remove it off, and that's up to the seller how he wants or how she wants to see the things, right?
Okay.
See what are the columns. Yeah.
Mm.
So okay. So now let me go to edit section and I'll explain the quickly the things what we'll see when we edit the product. Yeah. So coming to the beginning of the tab, like you see a lot of tabs here, like vital information, variations, offer, compliance, images, description, keywords, more details. There are a lot of things. There are these are, I mean, you will be mostly filling up most of the information so that, I mean, the more the information, it is better, because Amazon algorithm will work in preference. I mean, it will definitely work better when there are a lot of informations, right?
Mm.
I think this will not have a lot of, yeah, this doesn't have. This is a thing. I think I should go to this one. Yeah. Okay. So here you see, like, I mean, when I click on vital information, there will be first box which says product ID.
Mm.
What is product ID? Okay.
Mm.
Product ID is basically I mean, unique identifier number.
Mm.
Okay. And that ID can be among of, I mean, any of these type of IDs. ASIN is Amazon's number, which is called Amazon seller item number. Okay,
Mm.
so that number is I mean, uniquely created for each individual listing. Whenever I create a new listing on Amazon catalog, it will create one new ASIN number.
Okay.
That's the ASIN number, and usually the ASIN number will look something like this. Okay,
Mm.
and that's basically ASIN. Okay,
Mm.
and the next one is GTIN, and this is again global trade item number. So that is, I mean, GTIN is another type of global number, which is nothing but when you must have seen, right, barcodes, different kind of barcodes are there.
Yes.
Yeah, so global barcode which is recognized anywhere in the world. So
Mm.
you scan it and you'll get the details of that particular product. Okay,
Okay.
that's basically GTN. Under GTN, but under GTN you have like EN, UPC, There is something called ISBN for books. Books will have different kind of barcodes. So ISBN, UPC, EN. In case of like our Indian or US, country,
Hmm.
mostly we'll be using UPC as our barcode. Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So if you do not have barcode, then there is some other procedure which I'll explain later, that how you can list your product without the barcode. But most preferably, you will buy the barcode from some source. What is
Okay.
that source? I mean, there are inauthentic source and there is authentic source. Authentic source is gs1.org.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is this barcode is uh, Amazon's recognized barcode, and I mean, when I say Amazon recognized, in the sense Amazon suggests to buy the barcode from GS1, though it
Okay.
recognizes barcode from other places, but Amazon says that to buy barcode from GS1 because there is like, I mean, GS1 is the authentic place and which controls the barcode, global barcode. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we can buy from here, but the only thing, the difference would be it would be costly. So you'll have to buy some number of unit in like something around probably 400 $500, which is definitely costly.
Okay.
Yeah, but whereas there are other source like one more there are many in fact, but this is one of the source which is called speedybarcodes.com, and you can buy like one barcode in just in $5 and 5 barcodes just in $10. But whereas in this case you will have to buy minimum of 100 and with a price of around $400-500, which is definitely costly. So that's why most of the sellers will usually buy from here. But that doesn't, I mean, that when I say that doesn't mean that I'm recommending that you buy from here. You can, like,
Hmm.
it is always suggested to buy from GS1, but yes, like, I mean,
What is
as
the difference?
I said, right, it is authentic place. Like GS1 is the, I mean, barcode controlling body. You can say
Okay.
that way, and they control